Alright, so topic of the video today is what is better than fighting? Alright, relevant video for today specifically because it's Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to people out there. So the secret answer to that question is love. You know, love is better than fighting. You know, and I think it's important to share my ideas on that and my perspective on that, because I think in the martial arts is overly consumed with the violent aspect of it, especially nowadays with the cage fighting and MMA. It's designed to just let people fight and beat each other to bloody pulp, and you know, a lot of people are starting to associate the martial arts with that, you know, and one of the things that makes it the martial arts is the compassion and the love that you're supposed to develop through your journey in the training, you know. And I could tell you from experience that, you know, love has transformed my life to soften up my martial art to make it more balanced and in harmony, and it's challenging me to better myself as a person practicing the martial arts. You know, there's an aggressive side to me, you know, before you know, finding love and being in love and all that. You know, there's something inside that wants that, and then when you don't have that, there's aggression that could be bottled up inside, and then you typically would let it out within the training. Positive ways of letting it out might be exercising, hitting the punching bag, using the wooden dummy. Negative ways might be like hurting people, you know, sparring too hard and breaking people's bones, and you know, just basically putting people in the hospital, whatnot. It's always a challenge, you know, as a martial artist, to know where that balance is and to not go step over the line, you know. And that's what I've been trying to indicate through my videos, is that it's not all about the fighting. You know, love is very important within the martial arts, and that's not being expressed enough, and that's the purpose of this video. And with that being said, what's your feedback on it?
I agree with you. You know, I've learned a lot about the lifestyle of you know, Kung Fu training, and how important it is to maintain balance. You know, I am a very giving, loving, open, you know, warm person, and I was once told that being that way was going to be the death of me, you know. So there definitely needed to be a balance. Not that I wasn't strong or that I couldn't take up or defend myself, but for me it was the other way around. So always warm, always giving. Not that I wasn't strong, but I didn't want to have to ever use the strength that I have, you know. And however, at the same time, I do recognize that there is a time and place for it, especially when it comes to defending your loved ones and your family and close friends and people who may not be able to stand up for themselves, you know. So I'm so glad to hear you speak on how love has touched you. It's awesome. I think that when you are in love, that it provides a different form of strength. You know, some people look at it and say, "Oh, he's soft," or you know, but no. When you have the right type of love in your life, it actually helps to strengthen you. It makes you stronger. It fortifies you. And then, you know, when you are with the right person, then you have someone who's standing beside you, someone who has your back, and you know, I got your back. So I agree with what you're saying. You know, I believe that there's a time and a place for brute strength. I believe there's a time and a place where you do have to stand up and you have to exert that you know, that strong energy force, or that fighting force. However, I think that sometimes in this part of the hemisphere it's a little too much, and I remember you and I, we were reading a passage about how there's just not a lot of love that's expressed in this world today. And so, and I'm not talking about corrupt love or what media has made love. I'm talking about true, pure love in the purest sense. Love for mankind, love for your fellow brothers and sisters, no matter the color of their skin or sexual orientation or, or their culture, but true love for mankind. It's becoming void. And so to hear you speak of love and how it helps to balance out lifestyle is very refreshing, and it's very true. It's something that is needed. So, I support what you say, and I mean, a girl can wish and she can hope that the true sense of love will find its place again in this world, and instead of so much energy going towards brutal things, that we will regain focus on what truly matters and the significance of love and how it truly does positively impact a society. So I love you.
I like too. So, what it got me to think about too is like people, they profit off of violence, right? But what's going on also is they're profiting off of lust.
Yeah.
So it's like those are two opposite spectrums that they're profiting of, and they're not showing people love. So it's like, you got the cage fighting, MMA is representing like extreme forms of violence for profit, and then you got the porn industry, which is pretty much representing the extreme forms of over sexualization and objectification, of women to profit. And neither of these are balanced. And within the expression of the martial arts, and what I'm trying to teach and show and share is that love is the true way, not just, promiscuous, sex or whatnot, and not this extreme form of violence. And even with the famous boxer Mike Tyson, it's known that what they would purposely do is refrain him from being intimate with any woman for like months before his fight. They would put him like in a cabin or something by himself and build up all this pent up aggression and anger, and then they just release him in the ring to just destroy his opponent, and that's not the way of the martial arts. The way of the martial arts is supposed to be guided by love, and when I have love within my personal life, it enhances my expression in the martial arts to make it truly balanced. So then people will feel the positive energy from me, and they will feel that I'm there to help them and not hurt them. But when my personal life is rocky and unsteady and, I don't have real love, then it's going to turn me into more of an aggressive person, and it's going to make me more egoistic and more competitive, and people are going to see that side of me, and that's going to be the repulsive side that they see that they don't like. But at least I know these are not traits of which I want to exemplify or live by. And I try to be more loving, more compassionate, but only through the experience of real love within real relationship can I really truly know like the true path. But trying to express that to people is going to be hard for them to understand if they haven't experienced what I experienced. It's like as I'm growing deeper with you and deeper into love, it's making me less aggressive, more peaceful, more at ease. And then my expression in the martial arts becomes just more fluid, just more loving, more understanding. and not so aggressive. But that aggressive side is in me, as you know. I mean, we've gotten in our arguments. I've disciplined my children at times, but those are sides of me that I don't want to, you know, that's not, those are not sides of me that I'm proud of. Those are not sides of me that I want to brag about. Those are not sides of me that I want to like egg on. It's there, but like you said, it's supposed to be there for protective reasons. If my children are doing something that's harmful them for their health, then it's gonna come out. But if it's coming out because I'm just enjoying seeing them in pain and suffering and enjoy seeing them cry, then it's not there for that. And if I really need to defend you or my children or myself in a violent situation, then that it could come out. But I shouldn't be directing that energy towards you, my friends, or my loved ones, or my students, or whatnot, just because I can't control that energy. I mean, it's there. I know I could defend myself. I know I could yell and scream. I know I could get angry. But it doesn't mean that I should, promote that behavior, even if it is making profit. It's like, and I think that's being overly emphasized within the martial arts in media. It's like they're encouraging people to get angry. Like Mike Tyson, get angry at them and knock them out until they can't get up anymore. And in the cage, hey, get angry at them and beat them until they can't move anymore. Even if you kill them, well, at least you killed them legally because it happened in the cage or the ring. And it's like they're promoting people to lose control of themselves, to be angry, and then they're giving people money for being angry. But martial arts is not about that. Martial arts is about controlling that anger and not directing it towards people that you love when you're not trying to benefit them but you're hurting them. The anger needs to be transformed into something that's going to be bettering yourself, the people that you're around, and the world at large. So I'm not happy about my angry sides. I mean, people even online see it sometimes. But I think as I grow deeper into love, they're going to see less and less of it. They're going to see more of the professional side of me, more of the respectful side, more of the compassionate side, because that's who I really am. But if I surround myself with the wrong people, then they're going to see some of those other sides of me that I'm not proud about. So that's why I wanted to make this video, because not only is it Valentine's Day, but because love is so important in the martial arts and is not being emphasized enough. And people need to see that side of the martial arts that is not being expressed. Even Bruce Lee was married with Linda Lee and had 2 kids, and he wouldn't be Bruce Lee without, experiencing love. Like love is what made him Bruce Lee. He wasn't just a violent cage fighter or just a violent fighter. He was a martial artist. And love is essentially what turns a fighter into an artist. So a fighter that's just a fighter, if he finds love, he's not going to want to fight anymore. That's the same thing with Mike Tyson. If he had love, he wouldn't even want to go in the boxing ring, because why fight? Because you have love. It's the people that don't have love that want to fight. 9 times out of 10, they're going in there to fight, to try to find love. And I'm just trying to indicate to the people that fighting is not always a good thing. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's not a good thing. And I don't like the fight. But
yes, I wanted to speak to a couple things that you mentioned about anger. That it's not a negative thing. Anger is a natural emotion that we all have, and it can be very protective. I would say anger can become destructive when we cannot control our anger. When it's out of control, when you are acting out of anger instead of using rational thought. So anger in and of itself is not a negative. it is, it's a natural emotion like happiness and sadness or empathy. However, we don't want to drown in it. We don't want to act upon it irrationally and allow it to control our entire being, you know. So, you know, just like everything else, in balance and the proper time and place for it. And, you know, I remember reading a passage about Jesus and how he was, and he expressed anger, you know. In the temple courts, you know, he was angry because he had all these people and they were selling and they were pretty much disrespecting his father's house. And he went in there flipping tables and kicking people out because he was like, you are disrespecting a holy place. So, that's righteous anger. He didn't go in, you know, just blazing with guns or anything like that, but, you know, he was passionate about what was happening, and he was in his right to do it, you know. So, so anger in and of itself is not a bad thing. But I know with myself, I don't want to lose it. I don't want anger to engulf me and control my actions or what I say to people, because, you know, words can hurt. And, and I'm not here to harm. I'm here to help and to heal. However, you know, anger has its place too, you know. It has its rightful place, and so it's not a bad thing to have. So I'm proud of you, you know, proud to stand next to you, and to hear you, to watch you grow, to grow alongside you, you know, because I've learned a lot from you, you know. So, yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
You too. Alright, so that's the video. Hopefully it gets people to, you know, reevaluate themselves as they've trained in the martial arts and see if they're going in the right direction. A lot of the times things like this is not going to be expressed in the martial arts school, but it's something that you gotta figure out on your own if you really want to represent the martial arts the way that it should be. You know, I always say peace, love, and compassion when it comes to the martial arts, even when you're dealing with combat. You know, and it's hard to understand, but within the context of combat, how do you integrate peace, love, and compassion? And that's what I'm saying. You know, if you're more skillful than somebody, rather than hurting them, why don't you help them? You know, so the way that you spar says a lot about who you are. You know, so, you know, if you're gonna hurt somebody when, you know, when you don't have to, or when you're gonna hurt somebody just because other people want you to hurt them, or you're gonna hurt somebody because the people are gonna pay you to hurt the person. I mean, are you hurting somebody because you want to get money, get fame? Why are you hurting somebody? And that's the thing that I'm having a problem with, is just a lot of people expressing the martial arts in ways of which are not being expressed in the correct way according to my vision, you know. And that's all I'm basically saying. Martial artists need to really show and share more of the loving aspect of the martial arts, and hopefully through this video you could get a little of that feeling, that energy. And I'm trying to put more videos out there to share that energy, and I want more women martial artists to get involved to really balance out the yang. There's too much yang all over this world, and we need to balance it out with the yin. And I think women are very powerful, but in a different way, and they're really the power of the Tao, you know, of the mother of all things, and the way of water. It's more of a feminine energy, and that's the thing about the Chinese martial arts that is very different than the other martial arts out there, is that it integrates that feminine energy and it balances out the yang. And I hope that you could see that within my expression in the martial arts. I'm not a violent person, I'm not a fighter, I'm not somebody that wants to hurt people, I want to help people. But at the same time, I see corruption in the martial arts, and I can't just sit back and just watch it happen. I feel like I need to say something about it. You know, this is my way of reaching out to people. Alright. All right. Thank you.